And this is the WISMEC Amor Plus tank, another sub-ohm tank. When we open the box here, we can see that you're first supplied with obviously the tank itself. We also have an atomizer head or coil fitted inside the tank, and that's standard as a 0.3 ohm resistance Canthil coil. We're also supplied with a titanium and a nickel coil. The titanium 0.5 ohm and the nickel is 0.15 ohms. They're both for temperature controlled devices. And we also have an RBA deck or coil unit. The RBA deck comes with a pre-made 0.5 ohm Canthil coil with organic Japanese cotton. So this is actually ready to go right away, and you are able to rebuild them when it's done. So when we remove the top layer, we can see that you're provided with a small set of instructions. We lift this layer off here. We'll also find some spare removable colour seals or O-rings. We're also given a little bit of Japanese organic cotton for when we're making our own coils. And lastly, a little bit of Canthil wire. And this is for, again, when we're making our own coils. If we're not going to be making our own coils, and we just want to buy the standard ones out the shop, then we don't need to worry about any of that down there, or the centre one. Although you might as well get use out of the coil that's in there, but when it's done, it's done. And this is another top filling tank, and will hold approximately 3.8 ml capacity of e-liquid. Our airflow is at the bottom here, and we can simply slide it open or slide it closed depending on our preference. I'm going to bring this back open. A standard 510 connection at the bottom. This section here is a standard removable mouthpiece, a drip tip. And this lower section here is where we fill the tank. So to start off with, we unscrew the base. We'll find our coil unit. And obviously this is our tank area with our base. Now with this here, because this is a brand new coil, we'll always want to put a few drops of e-liquid into the centre area here, into the cotton wool, and we'll also want to put a few drops in either side of the unit where the cotton wool is exposed. So a few drops at the side and a few drops in the centre, and that just primes the coil and gets it started, gives it a wee head start for the e-liquid to flow in. This again obviously is just simply removed by unscrewing the coil and replacing with a new one by screwing in. So once we've primed the coil unit, we'll screw it back into our tank, and then I'm not sure if you'll see here, but there's a little window for the juice to flow in. What we want to do is make sure that the opening on our coil matches up. If I get this right, matches up with the window. So I screwed this on. We want to make sure we bring this back a little bit to make sure that our coil cotton there is exposed. So on either side, our cotton of the coil is exposed, is now going to sit with the e-liquid and get saturated. If we had this round slightly more, the juice might not go in so much, as there's a smaller entrance area for it to go in. So I always bring this back a little bit and expose the cotton wool on either side of the coil, and it means that it's always free flowing and there's no restriction. So with that now, we've got a new fitted coil in there, we've primed it and we've made sure that the windows are exposing the cotton wool for the coil. We'll now want to fill the tank, so we'll grasp the top layer off it here, where we can see there's a little vapour sign and a wee dot, so we're on the vapour setting if you like. Want to grasp the top part and swivel it round 90 degrees either way. And we can see that we're going to now hit a little drop symbol of e-liquid. We're ready to fill the tank. So it's closed off our coil so it doesn't flood it, and we'll lift the entire top part off here. Now with that now, we've exposed 2 juice holes to fill the tank. We can use either of these to fill the tank, and once we've filled it and we've got all our juice in there, we'll simply pop the top back on, but our windows are still closed. So always remember to swivel your top till you hear the click, back over to your vapour sign, and we know that our coil's back exposed again. And when we close that back off, it also closes off the juice holes which were at the top. So always remember to close that back off again. So we've primed the coil, a new coil in there, we've filled the tank with juice, and we're ready to vape it now. So we'll always want to leave that for a few minutes, and then we can get going with it. If we've just filled it up and it's not a new coil, then we can just fire it up straight away and give it a good vape. But a very good tank, high quality tank, extremely good coils, good flavour, and a very nice little top filling system